come from a long line of alcoholism within my family. And the text that was so helpful to me was today's gospel of Jesus saying, call no one on earth your father, you have one Father in heaven. Jesus isn't literally saying, don't call your dad, don't call your mom, don't call a priest father. That's not his point. His point is, go deeper. As long as I thought of my dad as the guy who was my hero, and my dad did a lot of things really well, and he was a public figure, and he was a business leader, and he was a civic leader, and he was a religious leader. When I put him up on that pedestal, and then I was aware of his own weaknesses, I got so angry and frustrated and discouraged. But one day, this passage from Matthew's Gospel today of Jesus saying, don't call anybody on earth your father, don't call him rabbi, don't call him teacher, don't call him the Messiah. You got one teacher, you got one Father, your Father in heaven. And that sank in. And I realized that my dad was just like me. He was more like my brother. Jesus says, you're all brothers, you're all sisters. We're all in this together. Isn't that the wisdom of the 12-step program? Isn't that the wisdom of beginning a Mass by acknowledging our weakness to say we're all in this together? And somehow, when I did that and I said, yeah, my dad is just struggling, my mom is just struggling, just like me, I was able to forgive them. I took him off the pedestal. I was standing beside him. Yeah, these are the people that brought me into life. That gave me life. These are the people that taught me. But they're struggling. They're more like my brothers and sisters. Because I have one person who created me. One person who can love me unconditionally. One person who isn't a hypocrite. One person who practices what they preach consistently across the board. Boy, when I stepped into that place, that was a place of great freedom. That's when the transformation began to work in me from the inside out. Great wisdom in today's readings. But of course, when we name a spade, don't expect that we're going to be honored for that. We're going to be persecuted. Nobody likes to have their faults pointed out. And we have to be very careful and very circumspect. And we have to expect that we're going to pay a price for naming truth to power. And to resist that hypocrisy nonviolently. And as Jesus, to take that suffering to ourselves. Not debasing ourselves, but willing to offer that suffering, to unite that suffering for transformation. To name truth, but to stand grounded in our own weakness. One of the things I love about the 12-step program is the adage, progress, not perfection, one day at a time. Continuing to work the program throughout our lives. Isn't that what we're here today to do? To come before God and ask for the help that we can't give ourselves, but we find in our midst, as fellow addicts, as fellow 12-steppers, as fellow sinners, gather together and say, Christ is in our midst. The Spirit is among us. Amen? Amen.
Heart to heart, hand in hand, praying for grace to understand. Spirit of Jesus, open our hearts to live and to love the gospel